Yeah, it's mindset cafe, we all about that mindset. Gotta stay focused, never settle for less. It's all in your head, how you think you manifest. So get ready to rise, cause we about to be the best. Gotta switch it up, gotta break the old habits. Get your mind right, turn your dreams into habits. No negative vibes, only positive thoughts.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Mindset Cafe podcast. It's your boy, Devin, and your favorite boy, Nick.
So good.
So we wanted to, I know we missed last week. That is our fault, our bad. But we wanted to talk about, not only is this a Q&A first and foremost, so anything mindset, anything fitness related, feel free to throw it in the comments. But today's topic really is about the hustle, right? The grind and leaving a legacy, right? The hustle is temporary, but legacy is permanent, right? Legacy is forever, right?
Right.
But we've all heard that phrase, rise and grind, but let's be real. With hustle, with, putting in the hard work, it feels daunting and it feels like you're everything's just going wrong and you're just trying everything you can. But honestly, that's just for a short time phase. So what really you leave behind is the impressions, the interactions, and everything through that phase when you're hustling, when you're grinding. So make sure that you're making the most of it. And we always say in here, trust the process, but it's also enjoy the process. I mean, if you look at Nick's shirt, it says trust the process. But you have to enjoy the process, because if you enjoy the process, it's one of those things when you have this communication, you have, conversations with people, that's what your legacy really is. Your legacy is what's left behind, the memories, the impressions that you've left behind. So Nick, I want you to start off just, what does, hustle is temporary, but the legacy is permanent, just off a surface level, what does it, kind of resonate with you?
Surface level.
I mean, yeah, you don't.
I was just gonna say, like, you want me to keep it broad, but no, I mean, to me, if I were to, kind of, I guess, just explain, like hustle means like you could be going through the motion or doing. I guess it kind of goes a little bit of what we talked about last time, like, when you sit there and ask yourself, like, like you're putting in the work, or you're getting up and doing the same thing over and over again, like, having a moment to stop and think, like, the purpose of why you're doing it, right? Like, because you could be working hard, right? Like whatever your job is, whatever your career is, you're applying yourself and you are doing your best, right? But when you say, and that's what most people say, the grind, I'm going through it, like, you're just grinding it out. But when you say you're trying to leave the legacy, it's like, when you are grinding, or when you are at work, when you're performing, like, what are the actions and more, kind of steps or things that you do that make a bigger impression, whether that's to the company that you work for, or the coworkers that you work with, or how you just carry yourself, since usually when we say the hustle, it's like kind of like in a workspace, or like the regular routine that people have. It's like, when you are going through those actions and stuff, it's like, how do you go about those actions though? It's like, is it, going above and beyond, and like, knowing that you left everything on the table, in a sense of, you're not going to have any regrets, because if it's like, when the time is up for you, how are the people that you were surrounded by, how are they going to remember you? The company that you worked for, how are they going to remember you? And like, kind of like, okay, I don't want to sound dark, but it's like, when you're gone, whether you move on from life, or if you're moving on to like another stage in your life, wherever you may be, wherever you left behind, when they ask you, like, hey, did you know, Nick, or did you know Devin, or did you know whoever the hell you are? It's like, what are those people going to say about you, right? And be like, no, I didn't get to know them. It's like, the next thing that people say, is it going to be a positive thing, or is it going to be a negative thing? It's like, you don't want it to be where it's like, yeah, they just showed up and they just came to work, or they were like, well, yeah, I guess I'm going to say it for here, because it's, this is our environment. It's like, no, they were just kind of like a trainer. They were just like, they would show up and they would do what they're supposed to, right? Or do you want it to be like, damn, like, you missed it. Like, you should have known that guy. You should have known that trainer. You should have known this person. Because like, when they were here, they showed up you know, no matter what they were going through, they seemed tired. Obviously, at certain times they seemed tired or whatnot, but the genuine intent and the amount of effort that they gave and like helping every single member or every single person that was in here, you literally felt that, right? To me, that's what legacy means, meaning like the impression that you leave behind when you're no longer still there going through the actions and emotions.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree. And that's why it's important to realize that there's a difference between, you know, the hustle and leaving a legacy and doing things to leave a legacy versus just doing the hustle or doing the grind, right? And honestly, as much as we use like, you know, you just got to put the grind in. It's like, honestly, I don't really like that phrase because you think what is grinding? Like you are literally grinding away pieces of you, right? And while you can make a metaphor, make it sound positive, at the end of the day, you're molding yourself and you're molding the legacy that you're trying to leave behind, right? So instead of saying, you just got to rise and grind, it's like you're waking up to leave a legacy each and every single day, right? You know, the interactions we have with our team, the interactions we have with our members that have with, conversation with other members. It's so important to realize that something that you say to someone could make their day or break their day. And I know we preach that, you shouldn't let things, hold weight over you. If it lasted 5 seconds, it shouldn't last 5 hours, right? Or even 5 minutes. But in nature, that's just how some people operate, right? You say one thing to them and it ruins their day. So it's just important to realize that even if you're in a rush, even if you're super, stressed out, someone asks you a question, like, don't just blow them off. Like, it's someone that needs help, right? But I think it was so cool what you were saying, as dark as it, kind of can be. It's like, how many times have you talked to someone and they were referring to someone else and they're like, dude, I wish you got to know that person. I wish you had a chance to meet them. And it's just like, dude, like, I wish that would be me, So, I mean, it's crazy to think about because like you have so many interactions with people all day and you don't take that into consideration when you're having a conversation. And then, a year goes by and you're like, oh man, like people say good things about you, people say bad things about you. But then if you really analyze or if you really thought about each conversation in the conversation and realize that you're leaving an imprint on this person's life forever, it's like, would you steer your conversation differently in the moment?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to focus on, people that I want to focus on the grind part first before we go into legacy, right? And with it being New Year's, with it being, January 1st and that whole spiel, you have to, everyone's putting the grind in right now. Everyone's putting, trying to build or achieve their goal, build the habits and everything. But sometimes just putting in the work isn't enough. Right? Like, before I kind of explain my take on it, like, what would you say? Like, I'm coming, I'm doing, I'm working out, it's like, so you're putting in the work, but are you giving it everything you got? So dive into a little bit, like just doing things sometimes isn't enough.
Right. So when we say like, you kind of just, putting in the work, it's like, that one phrase that you had mentioned, whether it was I'm sure it was on a previous podcast. It's like, are you just showing up just to show up? Mm-hmm. Right? Are you like you're showing up to your workout? Are you showing up for your work or even for your family? Just going through the motions, just to be able to say that you did it, or to even just bare minimum uphold your responsibility. To me, that's the initial kind of surface level to it. Or are you actually kind of going into everything that you need to do, your workout, your the task you have to do for work or your family and any of that? Or are you wholeheartedly giving every single ounce of your intent to understanding that like it is your responsibility and needing to do what you have to do, but in the action that you are executing those things, are you fully giving it all your, like, you know what I mean? Trying to go above and beyond, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Or are you just like, for example, like the workout, it's like, you're just going to show up to the workout and just like kind of go through the motion. Yeah. Or like, even though you're not feeling your best and like, you like some days are shitty. It's like, you know, you're going to do the workout. It's like you're still going to show up and literally push yourself to the limit. I mean, that's all our, you know, catchphrases, but it's like, are you really going to understanding that knowing that that's what you have to do, like kind of like literally pushing yourself to beyond of what you think is just going to be sufficient to get by, I guess.
Every time that someone says, you know, give it all you got, you know, I forget the movie's name right now, but it's there's like the bodybuilder brother or something like that. I think it's a best man or something, but he's like a weight trainer and he has a short shorts, and then he's like, there's like this high pitched guy lifting. He's like, give it all you got, give it all you got. Every single time someone says that, that's what I think of immediately. But no, I mean, I agree with you. You know, it's. I do want to take a tangent, not once but twice. So, guys, we got these. We saw.
Is it because he said, "Give it all you got," and then that's what you think of it?
Yeah. We got these things. The workout smelling salts. You know, this one. It's called. Yep. Wake the fuck up.
I'm just saying, if you guys are watching this live, it's about to be a treat for you because I wasn't expecting to do this.
Oh, but that's the thing, is that we're gonna do it right now, and we'll do it in a little bit when, you know, other people are on. You want to go first?
You already have it. Just go first. It's fine.
Oh man.
So if you guys don't know what Devin's holding, it's ammonia salt. It's like a punch in the forehead, I guess you could call it. Oh.
Oh. Whoa, boy.
Bro, people are just probably gonna watch this and be like, what the hell?
Oh, I'm crying.
So I don't know if you guys know what these things do, but usually power lifters and, you know, people that are about to execute like a super heavy lift, try to pump themselves up. Well, this is what they sniff. I don't know if you guys ever seen that video where people sniff something and they're just like all of a sudden like whacked out and like ready to Patty's like, do that again.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
Hey, bro, your eyes are watering right now.
It's getting stronger and stronger. You tell me to close the bottle.
Bro, if no one's watching,
do it.
All right.
You're a psychopath. Oh, close it all the way, Dick.
Hold on. My motor function shut down for a second. Oh, wow.
Oh, man. That's not for the faint of heart.
So this kind of goes into like, you know, do you just show up and just kind of like go through the movement, or do you show up to your responsibility and your task? You take a whiff of ammonia salt and give it all you got.
No, it's not, definitely not recommended. It's not. we saw it and we had to try it. So, but it definitely will put a little punch in your face and in each nostril. I feel like a singed on my nose hairs.
That definitely opens up your nasal cavities. Patty said, "Are you guys getting high during work hours?"
No, this does not get you high. It was bought on Amazon.
That's right. So you can pick yours up.
Oh man. All right, let's circle back. I can't even, you know, think right now. My eyes are watering so much.
Oh well, while you gather your thoughts, I had a thought that came up that I kind of want to, I guess, add like towards the beginning, but that kind of, you know, portrays like the hustle and the grind. I mean, I'm sorry, the hustle, the grind, and like versus legacy. Now, just a little prelude. I know that certain people would just resonate better, you know, that you just have a better relationship with, or that you can, you know, that just connect with you in a different sense. But think about your teachers back then, right? No matter what grade, especially when you were younger, there was like, especially when you had like 6 different teachers, 8 different teachers, right? When you go to different subjects and stuff like that. Now, I'm sure if every single person were to think back when you were in school, there was always one, at least one, you know, or a couple teachers that you was like, damn, that was my favorite teacher, right? Or like that was like I loved that teacher, and it was like for a specific reason of like, just because like when you were in that class or whatever, it's like they fully applied themselves, right? They made, you know, whether it's like making the curriculum or whatever you had to learn, whatever you guys had to learn that day, a lot more fun, or a lot more, you know, enjoyable for you guys to sit in that class and stuff like that. But with that, it's like, think about like the effort and like the thought that had to go, that the teacher had to put in to be able to provide that kind of, you know, lesson to you guys. It's like those are the kind of teachers that like most people kind of really gravitate towards, and they really enjoy their classes. But if you think about it, and that as an example, versus like the other teachers that kind of like, oh, they're a dick, or they're just like, you show up to the class, they go through the lesson or the curriculum, and then that's it. And it's like they're hard on you, so on and so forth. But kind of try to paint that picture a little bit better. It's like, which one of those teachers do you think, the 90% that just show up and just grind it out because they have to show up, you know, for work and like teach these kids and teach you guys the lessons, versus like the teachers that really show up and enjoy themselves? And it's like, you know what I mean? They go above and beyond trying to engage the students, and like, you know, for them to grasp the lessons and stuff a lot more, and for the students to leave feeling a lot better about themselves and whatever they had to learn that day. It's like, to me, that's just an example of like majority of people that just show up and just do the grind, versus people that actually leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Because they put the wholehearted intent behind the work that they do.
Right. So I mean, also like they're aligned with their purpose, right? You like those like teachers that, you know, that resonate with you like that, like they love teaching, right? They love showing up, they love doing the work, they love preparing class notes, right? But so it's like they do the extra work behind the scenes that you may not see, that when they do show up to class, it's not like they're just showing up just to be there. Like they're showing up, like you said, with intent, but it's because this is what fills up their cup. And someone, in my opinion, someone that leaves a legacy, someone that's leaving a legacy isn't someone that's just working, let's say, necessarily on fitness or on, you know, mindset or whatever, but they have found their purpose and their calling, and they're diving into it. They're becoming better at it and better and better at it. Because I guarantee that same person wasn't leaving that same impression on year one of teaching, right? As they are now. And that goes to show you, like, that is what we talk about, like when with personal development, with mindset, it's not about the cup being half full or half empty. It's about filling up your cup so much that it overfills or overflows into other people's cups. And that overfill is what is going to be the legacy that you're leaving, the impression you're leaving, right? Like I can actually name my fourth grade teacher, you know, and it was like that. Those are the kind of impressions, and it's crazy because I saw her probably like 6 years ago. I don't even know if it was 6. That's just a random number I threw out, but like I saw her at Costco or something, and you know, I think fourth grade me, not seeing her until like now, and it's like it actually. No, I don't think my daughter was born yet, but it's like I still knew exactly who she was, and like the impression that she made. And it goes into other things, like if you're a coach, if you're, you know, a therapist, if you're, you know, anyone that is basically providing a service, even if you're a barber, right? And it's like the conversations that you have with your clients, it's a personal conversation. You are leaving an imprint on that person's life. They look forward to seeing you each day, right? This is a conversation I had with Angel, you know, our barber. I literally kind of chewed him out a little bit. And I was like, if I wasn't your boy, like, you know, and if I was just a random customer, I was like, bro, like, I probably wouldn't come back. I was like, but I know you, and I know you're having an off day. I was like, but I know that I'm also not your last client today. I was like, so I want to give you this little piece. And again, I'm not taking it any which way, but I know that you deal with so many people in a day. Taking it from like the personal training days and realizing that even what we tell our trainers, like, no one cares how you feel. And it is as bad as that sounds, it's not the fact that no one really cares, because people do care, but people are showing up for a service first and foremost, right? And so if you're not able to provide that service, then they're not going to be a happy client. They might still be a happy friend, but they're not going to be a happy client. And they're going to slowly over time drift towards someone that can give them that service better, right? So with like Angel, I was telling him, I was like, dude, I was like, look, for, you know, you're telling me everything that's going wrong. Like you've been talking about, like, you know, all these things, like what, if I was a customer and stuff, like, what do I care? Like, what if I had my day, my whole work day, my whole 9 to 5, and then I showed up like looking for, this is my relaxing time. This is my spa time. That's what Angel tries to tell me all the time. Like, getting a haircut is supposed to be relaxing. But honestly, and it's not just him. Like, I've never liked getting haircuts. Like, I have other things to do. It's too much time for me. And so he was like, "Isn't this relaxing as you come?" I was like, "No, bro, fucking hurry!" Like,
just cut my hair.
Yeah, but and I was like, "But if this was someone's relaxing time, because I know that's for some people it is, like, you would be killing it. You'd be killing the vibe right now, with your energy, with everything. But you also, like, that's the legacy that you've now left with someone. It might not be your entire legacy, but you got to think your legacy is comprised of multiple events." What is it called when you put multiple things together?
Combine.
No. What was the other word you like to use?
Which one?
Your favorite word. Not combined, not combination.
Got put things together.
Yeah, there's another word you used the other day. I said, "Where'd you get that word from?"
What word?
Oh man, it's another C word.
Compound.
No, never mind. It's only funny if you get it the first time.
What was it?
What?
What was it?
Your favorite word was the compilation. And I was like, that was an interesting choice.
Oh my god, I forgot about that, dude.
And I was like, that was a definitely interesting choice. I was like, it could have been a collage. It could have been,
a collaboration.
Combination. That was just an interesting
compilation.
It was just an interesting choice of use. I've never heard you use that word before. It was crazy. You were just home for a 4-hour lunch. wonder what you're looking at. But your legacy has a ripple effect, right? We talk about ripple effect a lot, and that's what it really is like your impression that you left with someone else, that you inspired someone else, they want to be like that. Now you're on a pedestal in someone else's mind, and you're almost their role model. They're gonna try to do things to leave an impact in a way that you are. For example, I was talking to someone the other day, they never thought that they would be an inspiration to someone else. They lost, they lost like 30 pounds, and they were still working out and stuff. And one of his like random friends, had sent him a text like, "Hey dude, like, I should just start working out too. Like, I'm down 10 pounds. And he's like, honestly, it's crazy because I don't even really talk to him that much, but it was weird because he had reached out to me. I was like, I want you to take notice. He didn't reach out at pound 1. He reached out once he was committed. I guarantee you have the ripple effect. Because if you think, what is a ripple? It's like if you drop a stone in the water, it makes a circle and it goes out, right? It's not a straight line to one person. It's a ripple. It goes all the way out in a circle. And so you're touching other people's lives and affecting other people, whether they tell you or not. So I guarantee you there was 9 other people that, have been affected and are trying to push themselves, but maybe they're not comfortable yet enough to tell you that you impacted them. Maybe they haven't lost enough in comparison to you, and they're comparing their journey to your journey, even though you started so much sooner, right? So I was like, but the important thing to notice is that like everything that you do, good or bad, is watched by someone. So what do you want that ripple effect to be?
Right.
Positive or negative, right? But
like, and I want to ask like people that are watching, like, like what is a legacy that you guys would want to leave, in any aspect or any avenue? Like, what kind of legacy would you guys want to leave?
Put in the comments.
Patty, I know Patty wants to leave some kind of legacy.
And make sure you guys, share this episode with a friend. We're not done yet, but I do want to say this earlier, also make sure you guys share this episode with a friend. Make sure you guys tell people that we do go live on Fridays at 8 p.m. But circling back, Nick, I want to ask, why is hustle culture overrated? No right answer, but, kind of going back into that grind thing.
Why is it overrated?
Yeah.
Because
the constant hustle, constant grind. Why is it overrated?
I mean, to me, my opinion, why? Because everyone's hustling, everyone's grinding. You know what I mean?
You be grinding on the dance floor.
Grinding. It was a song. Never mind. Forget it. But overrated is in like, I guess in the same sense of like everyone's grinding it out. Like meaning like it's overrated. Like everyone says that they're claiming that they're doing it, right? Everyone's claiming that they're working out. Everyone's claiming that they're an influencer. Everyone's claiming that, you know, they're the best that they can be. But I mean, you know, but to each their own. I mean, I guess, you know, because maybe they are trying. But to me, it's like, is it actually making a difference though? To me, it's like kind of like what we talked about last time. It's like I was gonna say the chutes and ladders. It's like the what was it? It was the ladder and the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like everyone's grinding in the same circle though. Like, are you just constantly running, doing the same thing, the same actions repetitively over and over again? It's like running into a fucking wall and then just doing the same shit over and over again. Or are you actually grinding to make progress? To me, that's the part that's not overrated.
No, but I do. That's I want to keep you right there in that train of thought. So I'm going to ask you one question so you can keep going where you're going. Now, that's those same people that are going in a circle, right? But they're doing it because they want to promote it. They want to be someone that is quote unquote no days off, someone that is a grinder, someone that is a hustler, right? And that's what they want to be known for. Why could that be overrated?
Great question. My opinion.
You want me to kind of start where I was thinking?
Yeah,
I liked where you're going, but I wanted to kind of tunnel you down to this part of it, is because everything you were saying makes so much sense. But the aspect that to me that's rated is that people do that and they are posting about it so that they can get the external praise.
I see.
Right? They're going to the gym, not necessarily to better themselves. I mean, they're going to better themselves, but they're going there so that they can check in, so that people know they go to the gym. They want to be known as someone that's always at the gym. But then it's like there's this culture around never taking a day off, in which, in my opinion, it's overrated, because if you don't allow your body to rest, let's say in fitness, you burn out, you get injured, right? You pull stuff, right? If you're an entrepreneur, in the beginning, you're going to be working a ton. But at the same time, like, what does that lead to? It leads to you getting sick. It leads to you, like me, I lost a bunch of weight, you know, and then
back then,
when we first started, you know, and it was one of those things where, I mean, there was like the hospital thing and everything where, you know, I actually had to check into the hospital because things I wasn't, you know, following what I was preaching also to everybody. But it's because I was just hustling. I was just grinding and I was letting other things slip. So being a hustler is good to a degree. You got to realize that shouldn't be your merit, right? You should be someone that's leaving a legacy. Your legacy shouldn't be, I'm a hustler. I'm a person I'll just grind and go until I can't go anymore. Because at the end of the day, like, there is going to be a point where you can't go anymore. And now what happens? All of a sudden, you've taken all these steps forward, but now you're going to have to take a leap back, because now you have to basically recover, if you can recover, depending on what it is, so that you can even start going again. Right. And then that's its own whole mental battle in itself. But like, how do you feel about like that in terms of like the hustle culture of like people that want to be known as someone that has no days off and is always doing it?
And to me, I think that it goes very hand in hand with like the cup, your cup analogy, where it overflows. Because then, yeah, I do agree that it's like overrated, because now it's like most people hustle and grind, but they do it for the praise. They do it to be seen. You know, I mean, it kind of like that saying that we like to say. It's like, what do you do when no one's watching, though, right? But doing the right thing, or staying consistent to your word and doing the best that you can, even when no one is watching, doing the reps that no one can see. That doesn't just mean, though, like, you know, kind of repeatedly doing the same thing, but like you said, like kind of just knowing when to do the right action, meaning like, even if it is a rest day, like, you don't need to like fucking announce like, oh, today's my rest day, just to get the praise for it. You know what I mean? Like, if it means working out when no one's watching, then, you know, that stick by it. Like the genuine results will come. But if that also does include, like, if it means you need to take a second and recover and reanalyze and you know, because that's what you're you need when no one's watching, then so be it. You know what I mean? Because like that will also give you the results that ultimately what you're looking for, what you're trying to achieve, that when you do start to attain those results or reach that milestone, that's when that overflow will start to come out and like affect other people. But that overrated part where it's like doing things just so you can get praise and just so you can get that check-in and people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, they show up every fucking day. It's like, yeah, but if no one was watching, is it going to be the same thing? And or are they actually going to be doing the right thing? You know what I mean?
I mean, it goes like, I want to kind of transition to that, what you're saying, to like your legacy. Your legacy can be left in, let's say, for like a generational impact, right? But also can be left in terms of like the legacy from building a business, right? And so the difference is the things that you're doing, the things that you're teaching, let's say your kids, right? The things that they don't teach in school. It doesn't necessarily, like, people get wrapped up in like, you know, what are you physically leaving your kids as your legacy? And that's not what it's about, right? Like, I could already tell you my dad's legacy that, you know, even though he's still alive and everything, like part of his legacy was his work ethic. Like I know my work ethic came from him, right? And so it's like, what are you teaching your kids? What are you teaching them in terms of, you know, how to treat people, you know, financial literacy, you know, everything that you would want them, the person that you would want them to be, are you teaching that to them? Mm-hmm. And really holding them to that standard? Because like that is your legacy in a family setting, mm-hmm. right? In a business though, it's like, what are you doing in terms of affecting the community? What are you doing to change lives? What are you doing? What kind of impact as a business owner, what kind of impact are you leaving for your trainers? Or, well, shit, that's us. But, you know, like for your team, like realize that you can recall, like you personally can recall all your previous bosses, right? You could say they're a good boss, a bad boss, you know, this boss, you know, really inspired me. He really pushed me, blah, blah, blah. And like, so as a business owner, what is the legacy that you're leaving for your team? Right? You know, you build a business, you know, you're doing things to change your family life and all that kind of stuff. That's cool too. That's part of that family legacy of like hard work, but also like everyone that comes into your business is part of a legacy, right? Your brand itself becomes a legacy, but it's the culture, it's the core values and everything that have been established within it that become the legacy. And those things aren't just, you know, written on the wall and that's what it is. It's built through day after day after day of interactions. Right? You have to actually do and live the core values for those core values to actually resonate and become part of the culture and the brand, mm-hmm. you know? And so I think that's like a huge part that people start to forget is like how many different aspects of legacy there really are. It's not just one thing. You saw someone break a world record. That's their legacy. No, that was just something that they did. Mm-hmm. That's not their legacy, mm-hmm. right? Legacy is so much more than that, so much more complex than that. What is that person going to be remembered for? Like, what is their eulogy going to be? Mm-hmm. Who's going to show up at your funeral? Mm-hmm. Right? You could have 1,000 acquaintances, but only one friend.
Damn, that one's right? A deep one.
So it's like, but at the same time, like you don't need to have 1,000 friends either. But those acquaintances, they could either just be like, oh yeah, you know, I did a transaction with them, or, you know, I met him one time at a party, or it's like, oh no, like I met him one time at a party and, you know, dude, that dude's like super nice. Mm-hmm. That dude is super, like that guy is, you could just tell, because people can just tell from just the first interaction with someone, you know? So I want you to realize that, you know, if you're listening, like your legacy is every single day you are forming it. You can't just have a day that you're a dick to everyone and then tomorrow be nice to those same people, and then think they're only gonna remember the nice stuff. Mm-hmm. They're gonna be like, no, his legacy is they're bipolar as fuck, you know? So it's like
it's a compilation.
But realize that like it's so much more than, you know, just one event. You David Goggins, right? His legacy isn't that he had the world record pull-ups, because what happens when someone beats that? Mm-hmm. His legacy is gone?
Mm-hmm. No.
Right? Because his legacy is so much more than just 1,000 pull-ups or whatever it was, right? And so
I think legacy is like who you are, and then how do you determine who someone is? It's like the compilation. It's it's an accumulation of all their actions put together, you know, from beginning to end, or from beginning to the end of when you knew them for that certain time frame or for that period, right? So like kind of, I guess it goes a little bit into like my favorite saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So like, are you just showing up, you know, going through the motion, or are you actually showing up and doing everything with the best intent that you can, even if it's on your worst day, right? And everyone's gonna have a shitty day. Everyone's gonna have you're gonna be in a shitty mood. Shit's gonna go bad and south. But thing is, like, what's gonna determine, like, you know, or add into your legacy is how you handle those moments, how you move forward from those moments. You know, especially when you're down and kicked like in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's like you have to make like big decisions or anything like that, or you know, whatever it may be, it's like how you handle those things is what's gonna add into like the bigger picture at the end of it.
I mean, another way to do a legacy, I will give myself a pat on the back, write a book, you know?
Yeah, so shout out if you guys haven't picked up Devin's book, you should definitely pick it up.
Yeah, and we're not just saying that, I actually wrote a book. I know we see a lot of, you know.
What's the title, bro? People might not know, because
so
if you guys are faking, didn't get it. I'm just kidding.
It's on Amazon. It was actually an Amazon bestseller in 4 categories. You know, 4 categories. It's called Money, Muscle, Mindset. But no, I mean, like that's one way to do it, right? But also realizing that we were going to do this one more time. You know, I just wanted to abruptly show Nick. So, Patty, if you're still watching, now is the time.
Patty actually said a comment. Patty said,
she was at Disney and she missed it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. When we said, like, you know, let us know what you want to leave as a legacy, she said, I post my progress every day. Hope that makes people want to come and work out, which is great. Right. You know what I mean? And Patty, I commend you for that, you know, especially because I do see you here every single day and I'm with you working out. I'm not with you working out, but I'm here with you while you're working out. But kind of like what Devin said about what we're saying, it's like you Patty posting like her workouts every day. Yes, that is an addition to her, you know, what's her overall legacy. Yeah. But I can tell you right now, part of your legacy, Patty, that you're leaving is the push, the positive energy that you're giving to other people that you might not even know. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain other members and stuff, like, you know, I don't know if they want me to name drop them, but like one of your partners in the gym, like, I'm sure she watches sometimes, Barb, like, if you see or heard the positive things that she says about you when you guys aren't together, which she says, yeah, the other day, like, Patty, like, literally pushed me to do this. And like, she's kicking my ass just right along with the trainers. And you don't even hear that, Patty. It's like, that's what you call a legacy. That's what adds into your legacy more than like you know, like you posting a picture. It's the actions that you're doing every day with your full intent, and you don't even realize it just because you're wholeheartedly putting in that effort. Yeah, that's what you call a legacy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, like Barb did tell me too. Like when you weren't here, she actually told me that. She's like, you know, Patty made me do 1,000 calories. I couldn't leave the gym, and I was like, hey, did you do it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, then cool. Give yourself a pat on the back. But you get to go first, big boy.
It is what it is.
We're not doing drugs, guys. You know, this is smelling salts round 2. You can, for some reason, you can smell it right when you open the bottle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Rip it. Don't throw it.
Oh
Lord,
bro, that one straight.
Close the bottle.
That one was straight to the dope. Wow,
I'm not doing it. I'm kidding,
bro. My right eye lost vision. Patty said,
wow,
bro, your head were just so
woo. I was getting close. I was still breathing in. I was like, I don't smell it. So then I took a, and I was like, oh yeah, oh Lord.
I did that with my right nostril, and I feel like,
man. All right, back on task.
Patty said, "Thank you." No, Patty, thank you.
I think she was saying thank you for doing it again, so she could see it.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Patty, if you miss that one again, it is on you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think my nose can take it anymore.
Again, not doing drugs. It's a workout, smelling salts.
If you guys haven't tried it, just, you know,
don't.
It's on Amazon.
But everything that we've said so far, right? Everything that we're talking about, building your legacy and not just focusing on the
Don't work. You can't even formulate those words right.
Focus on my eyes not watering. But honestly, like everything that you're doing, like hustling is cool, right? All that is fine as long as your purpose is aligned, right? For example, tying back to what you were saying with Patty is like, she does post her pictures, but she's also in here for an hour and a half, 2 hours some days, grinding, regardless if she posted a picture or not, right? But it's not the picture that is really what's motivating people. It's the fact that her energy and her conversations with people is what the real motivation is.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures are just a reminder, right? So I will say it's one of those things, actions speak louder than words, and actions speak louder than pictures. So just because someone does something on social media and you're following them and they're your favorite influencer, I guarantee what they're doing, I won't say I guarantee. If they're saying they live a lifestyle, majority of influencers live the lifestyle on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't necessarily mean they live that same lifestyle off camera, right? Because at the end of the day, realize that there is a separation when it comes to social media and when it comes to reality. And there's a handful of social media, influencers, and it's no knock on them whatsoever, but they put a character on, right? Because people relate to characters. People relate to a persona, right? And that's one of those things where you have to realize at the end of the day, you're still doing it for you, right? Follow your journey, follow your path, follow your purpose, right? If that aligns with the person you're following, awesome. But you don't need to be them. Be you. If you're a sheep, you get lost in the herd. Be unique, be yourself, and I promise you, people will still connect with that. More people connect with authenticity than they connect with someone that's just like someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've told you, I've interviewed a couple of people, and I said, I was like, yo, fuck this, I'm not doing any more of these coaches. And now I still do coaches, but like there's a little more thorough investigation because there was like 3 guys right back to back, and it was like, do you guys all hang out together and like, do you guys all write this story together? Because this is crazy. Like, there's no way all your guys' lives went A, B, C, D. And like almost like it was like someone created a template, fill in the blank, and you'll be famous. But it's the same fill in the blank as the famous person. So every time I saw the other 3, I was like, oh, that's crazy. You're like so and so. In my head, and next one, boom, you're not like that first, but you're like so and so. So each person, I'm comparing you to the actual influencer, but yet you're trying to be an influencer yourself. But how can you influence people when you're following someone? Mm-hmm. Influencers don't follow, they do. Mm-hmm. Just like leaders don't follow necessarily, they take charge, they lead the team. They don't need someone to tell them, this is how you should be because this is, the right way. That obviously there's time for direction, but at the same time, you're not going to change who you are just to fit the status quo. Mm-hmm. Right? And I mean, you and I know are, kind of living and breathing on that, because like we can care less what people like think when, you're a business owner, you guys should be dressing up, and wearing slacks. We wear gym shorts all day, every day.
Bro, that's like my closet. It's just workout clothes. It's like, when it's like, oh, you got dressed up, it's jeans and a shirt.
But it's you be you, right? Just because we're business owners, we don't have to dress a certain way, talk a certain way. Like, we got to where we are being us, and we're gonna still be us. And if that, limits us, then I'm fine with. I'd rather take the limit, right, than it be, me changing who I have to be and fit this, picture frame person of what the goal was. Like if that's the trade-off, like I'm cool.
Yeah, and what I actually do like a lot from what you said was the authenticity. Like the authenticity and like what I said, the genuine intent, right? I think those are 2 very important things to consider when we're trying to, determine if the actions that we're doing are just grinding and hustling and grinding, or you're actually leaving a legacy. Because when we're doing the actions or the responsibilities, task, whatever the hell it is, working out, for example, it's like, are you doing it just to say you're hustling, like, you know, to getting the work done, for the reasons of because you saw, or you know of, like, that's what people do, and that's what the right thing to do is, or to achieve the goal, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Or are you actually doing it for yourself? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you said authenticity, it just rung a bell in my ear, because it's like, well, yeah, that's what separates like the grind, just grinding through the motion, and the legacy. Because when we fully, you know, comprehend the fact of doing certain things for ourselves, it's like kind of like what we mentioned it a long time ago. It's like when you do something for yourself, like, one, you got to respect yourself, but two, if you wouldn't want the very best for yourself, what the hell do you expect from anyone else? You know what I mean? You got to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. So with that being said, it's like, if you're doing the workout or going to work, really applying yourself or trying to excel in every aspect of your life, the main foundation of it has to be you, for you. Because then when you realize that, and it's like, damn, bro, like, I only get one life. I only get Eminem. You only get one shot. You know what I mean? It's like, no shit, you're going to give it above and beyond your effort. And when you do that, so like without even realizing it, that's when your cup overflows. Because then it's like, dude, people just need to realize, like, when it's done, you know? So when you are going through the actions and stuff like that, don't just do it just because you think that's what you're supposed to do, or because that's what social media influencers, that's what, you know, people tell you to do, that's what you're supposed to do. Fuck that noise. You know what I mean? Do it. Yeah, you're supposed to have like a proper instruction and a blueprint and stuff, but it's like, when you do it for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, you ain't gonna get that shit back because you're not. And that's essentially, to me, what is going to leave your own personal legacy, or at least add into your own personal legacy, because it shows. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're trying to, you know, if you do a workout because your significant other or somebody else told you to do it, and you don't, you know, and you're doing it for that purpose, it's like, think about the drive that you have behind that. It's like, okay, I got to do it, you know, versus like, this is my goal, I want to do this, and this is my only fucking body, I'm gonna go work out. Yes, people did help me, told me, and like kind of advised me to do this, so that's an external addition to it. But it's like, if your genuine thing is for you, for yourself, think about how much, like, all right, when you're in here working out, it's like you're pedal to the metal. You know what I mean? And if you do that every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it, that's when it resonates with other people. Like, yeah, when that person's in here, like, they're crushing it. You know, and it's not always going to be sunshines and rainbows, but they're always giving it their best. And I can see they're hurting sometimes, but those kind of things are what kind of adds into your overall legacy.
You're always rainbows.
Not me, player.
No, but I mean, and then I just want to, like, you know, before we wrap up too, is like, realizing we're not saying that you can't hustle and you can't grind, right? It's the fact that people also just fear, like, not putting in the work is going to immediately make them start to go the other way, and realize sometimes you have to slow down to speed up, right? Otherwise, if you're just going on, you know, full throttle the whole time, it's like you're going to run out of gas. Like, sometimes you need to take a pause and then keep going, right? Just like even our workout, you have those, you know, the in-betweens. It's like, you can do the in-between, but you don't have to do it every single time. Like, you can take that rest if you need it. Although
right.
Some people be slacking in here.
I was about to say, you mean everybody?
But it just goes into realizing that sometimes you're actually sabotaging your goal by not taking the rest, and having that fear of, I can't stop. If I stop, I'm going to lose it, right? For fitness, for example, if it takes the body 12 days to decondition, and that doesn't mean all the way back to zero. It means that's when deconditioning starts. And that's usually more in the cardiovascular aspect, right? So it's like, that's almost 2 weeks. You can take one day off if you need, right? And even your rest day, it doesn't mean you need to sit on the couch and not do anything all day long, right? Running a business, you still need to take a day off. You know, maybe in the beginning you can't because you're the only person, but once you have a team Like, don't be that person that's going into work every single day to micromanage. Like, let your team grow, right? And so I will say sometimes we think that, you know, a rest day means, or some people think a rest day means like doing nothing. It's like, just because you're not working out and lifting weights, like going on a hike is still technically a rest, right? Going on a walk, going to the beach, doing something active is still okay. But just the same exact thing that you're doing, just give that a rest for a day. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So,
It's like work on a different aspect of your legacy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Make sure that your legacy is full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
But with that being said, guys, make sure you guys share the episode. Make sure you guys tell people that we do go live on Fridays. Maybe we'll start switching it up and do a weekend, you know, then alternate it, you know, let a Friday night and then a weekend. But we'll see. We'll have a consensus and then we'll come back to y'all. But with that being said, guys, we appreciate you guys. We love y'all, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Nick said peace. Later.
No negative vibes, only positive thoughts. Just in the game of life, mindset causes shots. Got my mind on the prize, I can't be distracted. I stay on my grind, no time to be slacking.